Hello, everyone. This is Tikva from Homeopathy for Humanity, and we are very happy to have homeopath Nona back again. And he is going to talk to us today about beauty and all that. Thank you, Ivona.
Hi, Tikva. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Ivona Tabak. I'm from Zagreb, Croatia. I studied homeopathy in London under Middlesex University, and so I'm a Bachelor of Science in Homeopathy, believe it or not. And today I'm going to talk about beauty, the health of skin, nails, and hair through the prism of homeopathy, let's put it that way. So there will be some naturopathy, there will be some general talk on beauty philosophy, health, keeping the body in good health, those principles, all of that. So I would like to start with a question for the people participating. The question, what is beauty to you? Just some association, what pops to mind when you hear the word beauty?
I think of the inside.
Of the inside?
Yes.
Like liver?
How you're as a person. That's
okay.
Beauty.
Okay, so when you see that somebody behaves in a very nice way and is very kind, you think that's beautiful.
I think more it is when someone is more social and open. That is beauty.
Okay, I love that. That's very nice to hear. Okay, anybody else?
Well, I think of, people radiating an inner health.
Okay.
And people seem healthy and vibrant. That's beautiful.
Okay, great answers. I love it. Anybody else? Okay, I'm a bit different. Of course, I love when people beautiful way and when they radiate nicely. But I also like seeing beautiful things, seeing a beautiful sunset or beautiful sky. I like physical beauty. Even when you see a beautiful man, when he has a features you like, or a beautiful woman, a beautiful scenery, maybe if you see some children playing or some leaves dropping, petals, all of that I personally find beautiful. So more material kind of stuff.
Oh, I'm not going to discount a nice lipstick or nice jewelry or anything like that.
I agree.
Okay.
Beauty lies in heart.
Okay, it does.
And how you are by heart, that glows on your body language and even physical body. If that shows, that's how you see everything beautiful, even material world also.
Okay.
So I think beauty lies in heart.
Okay.
How the person you are. So it matters. Even your skin will glow if you are beautiful from heart. It's not the way you. It's everything about your glow. It's everything about your flexibility of the body.
Yeah.
That's what I think beauty lies in heart rather than how you are physically.
Okay, that's a very nice answer. I like it as well. If nobody wants to add anything else, I would like to begin with the presentation now.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next slide is the title. So healthy skin, hair, and nails. Hashtag stop using poison. Hashtag anyone can be beautiful. And hashtag I'm so sick and tired of the Photoshop. Give me something natural, like no, I don't know how it goes. And that's my name down there. It's my country's flag, if you haven't seen it. And this is the, I don't know what's the garb of my university. I don't know what's the English word, but the symbol, let's put it that way. It's a London-based university. Okay, so beauty. Here I've attached some images. I associated with beauty when I started thinking about it. So here's the road of Asclepius. Asclepius was the old Greek god of healing. He was the physician in flesh, let's put it that way. So here we see a statue of him. And on the upper right side, we see the three graces, so-called. 3 graces that accompany the goddess Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty, fertility, and all that good stuff. And one of them is actually Asclepius's daughter. Her name is Agea. And let me tell you more about it. So Asclepius, as I said, he was the healer personified. He had 5 daughters, Hygieia, Panacea, Iaso, Akeso, and Aglaea. So each one represents different things. We've heard these words: hygiene, so health, cleanliness, and sanitation. Panacea is the universal remedy. We say the panacea of, different remedies, the panacea of medicine. Iaso is an interesting concept. So this is the recuperation from illness. It's the remedy, Akeso is the healing process. So it takes some time to heal. We know that from the organon and from life in general. So when true healing begins, homeopathic healing, so the true cure, it takes some time. It cannot happen overnight in most cases, as far as I know. So body needs time to fix the architecture of it, the building blocks and all of that. So that's why we have the Ake. So this is the healing process. And we have the 5th daughter, Aglaea. I was quite fond of this information because she is the daughter of the healer, but she doesn't connect that much to medicine. She's more about beauty and splendor and glory and joy. And she accompanies Aphrodite along 2 other charises or graces, charises, now in modern Greek, I think. And we mentioned these figures. Modern doctors mention these figures in the Hippocratic Oath. So they say, I swear by Apollo Healer, by Asclepius, by Hygieia, by Panacea, and by all the gods and goddesses making them my witness, that I will carry out according to my ability and judgment this oath and this indenture. So much for the old Greek. I wanted to mention it because I went to, let's put it that way, high school that focused on Latin and Old Greek and the antics. So it's quite close to my heart.
Oh, yes. I also had that very classical education.
Really? Oh, that's good.
Yes.
I think it's the best, in my opinion. Anyway, modern outlook on beauty. So this differs from culture to culture. Skin and hair plays a vital role. So they are a desirable trait for women and men. And these are expressed in different ways. Certain bodily attributes are also desirable. This also varies. And often what is important is that traditionally female features are present on females, such as curves and long hair, and vice versa, which has been changing with the uprise of the LGBTQI plus movement. So this movement tested the role of hair, of curves, of the place of masculinity and femininity in society with the younger generation coming.
And then we can go back to ancient Greek again.
Yeah. How?
Oh, because when we're talking about people being androgynous and LGBTQ, you know, the ancient Greeks were famously so.
They haven't taught us that bit.
No, they didn't. Oh, Plato, with his, with the symposium and things like this. This was an all-male party that often, the relationship between teacher and student was often a sexual one as well.
That I have heard about also.
No, I am aware of that. We actually have an expression in Croatian, peder, which is like a derogatory term for a male homosexual. And it actually comes from the Greek word associated with this kind of behavior, which actually comes from the word pais paidos, also pedagogy. So this relates to a young boy or a girl, so very young person is pais paidos ho in Old Greek. So yeah, actually we have been taught about it, but like they were discreet. But yeah, actually that's true. I forgot about it. Even the term androgynous is actually
Right.
Greek, you know. So Ine is female and Andres is male. But enough about Old Greek. So we have beauty and philosophy. I've put a quote. I will read the bolded part. Beauty is never viewed with indifference. Beauty demands to be noticed. It speaks to us directly like the voice of an intimate friend. And philosopher Immanuel Kant, great philosopher, defined beauty as reflective judgment. Beauty is considered aesthetic, and aesthetic judgment is essentially a verdict of taste. Whatever that means, but you know, let's put it there. And be wary, Immanuel Kant is not James Tyler Kent, another great American homeopath. Going to the next slide. Beauty and science. So in the Netherlands, a study found that women with a certain waist to hip ratio were less likely to be able to reproduce. So furthermore, it was found that women with a higher ratio were said to have the same health risks as women with a high body mass index. This could be the answer as to why the male population is fascinated with curvier women, because the lower the waist to hip ratio, the curvier, more reproductive and healthier the women. So the ideal ratio is 0.7 of hip to waist, and this is connected from scientific research to high levels of estrogen and fertility. So it's connected to the hormonal system, right? The health of the hormonal system and reproductive organs. We know the evolutionary perspective. Throughout the evolution of mankind, traits have been used as a signal for the proliferation of good genes. Blah, 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 blah. Symmetry is also considered desirable. But what I consider interesting in the whole symmetry talk is that symmetry actually denotes good posture and good health of the musculoskeletal system. So with the rise in popularity of facial yoga and stuff like that, we can see how they not only focus often on the face and muscles of the face and becoming aware of those, of our gestures, let's put it that way, but also they will often focus on the neck, on the shoulders. So the entire musculoskeletal system is connected. We have to keep the posture good. Chiropractors know this, and this is also reflected in the face and in the symmetry. So this is also important. Moving on. The so-called integumentary system, I don't know how to pronounce it. There are two definitions. According to Wikipedia, the integumentary system is just the skin. The nails, the feathers, the hooves, the hair, the scales, whatever. So it's what's on the outside is the integumentary system. And then according to other sources, it's made up of several organs. And along all of those listed, glands and nerves are also a part of this system. And we can actually relate this to, what's the word I'm looking for? Embryology, right? Because nerves and skin, they come from the same layer as the zygota starts to grow. Yeah? So at first we have 3 layers. So here's this magical book, the Bible, Organ of the Medical Art by Samuel Hahnemann. And he says the following in the 4th aphorism of the Organon of the Medical Art. He or she is likewise a sustainer of health if he or she knows the things that disturb the health, that engender and maintain disease, and is aware of how to remove them from healthy people. So this is what we will be talking about today. My battery is running low. I'm very clever. I'm beautiful, but also very clever. Just a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, everybody. So, nutrition. Proper nutrition is important, but going to be an obstacle to cure. So we have to give body the we have to give the body substance. So the vital force we know from the organon. I renamed it today. I called it homeostatic physiological mechanisms, and its natural forces can build needed substance and sustain certain processes. So if we don't have the building blocks, if we don't have certain amino acids, if we don't have certain vitamins, minerals, the body cannot build. So we have all little helpers inside and little cells, and this cannot work. All of this chemistry and electricity going on in the body, it cannot work if we don't have proper nutrition. I wanted to give an example with sesame seeds. They're considered an aphrodisiac. Usually we think of aphrodisiacs as substance that gives magical sexual power, but this is not actually the case scientifically, but often aphrodisiacs provide the body with necessary nutrition for the health of the glands, super important, right? And reproductive organs. So sesame seeds were a big one in the ancient times. They could still be today if you want to use them. And check this out, they contain 50% more protein than meat. And the pituitary gland, the orchestrator of the homeostasis of the negative feedback loop of the whole hormonal system, produces hormones that are composed mostly of proteins. So what happens if we don't get enough good protein in our diet? There can be problems with the pituitary gland. So it is vital for homeostasis. So it's an example of how good nutrition matters, right? And also not putting in the bad stuff, so the body has to excrete it and then waste energy. So taking it easy for the body. So every organ will have different needs. So this is why the diet should be versatile but balanced. Remember to eat slowly. This is for the nerves. Just eat slowly. You're safe. Nobody's going to take your food. Just let it in. It's going to be good. And oh yeah, if you want me to make another presentation to go more specifically into what the body needs in terms of nutrition, comments down below. And I think if we get into this, we can understand physiology and pathophysiology better through food. So it could be a great way to learn. So yeah, comment, subscribe, all of that. I wanted to Google the word food today on Bing, because I don't use Google, I'm edgy like that. And these are the pictures that came up. And I was like, okay, it is food, but is it really food? You know what I mean?
That's a very important question. What is actually food?
What is food? Yeah. So this is an important question for today, among other things. So food should sustain us, right? And the first picture, is it food? Is it sex? Is it lack of nurture? Is it desire? What is those burgers? Are they really food? You know what I mean? So yeah, I was very surprised. I expected, many, many different things. And I've heard people talk about this back in the last decade when there was a big uprising with, nutrition consciousness that, we have like tens and hundreds and thousands of different species of plants and animals, but we just focus on like 5 animals, right. And like 10 plants in our diet, like potato, 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 potato. I mean, okay, but like,
it is typical Scandinavia potato.
Really?
Yes, we eat it all the time. And my brother and I talked about it earlier today, and he said, I'm so tired of those potatoes.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Biodiversity is very, very important, and it affects the intestinal flora, which is very important for things like proper mood and hormones, and so many things are manufactured in our digestive system. that it really plays a critical role in well-being to go for that biodiversity and eating a lot of different types of things.
Yes.
Absolutely. Very well said. Exercise. Nobody likes it, but we have to do it. Exercise. Yeah. So it's also important for the health of the skin, hair, and nails. This realization was the only thing that could make me exercise. I didn't care if they told me, Ivona, you're gonna die in 10 years if you don't exercise. I would have been like, that's fine. I just want to chill. But then I read that yeah, I bought a book on cellulite. Well, I borrowed it, doesn't matter. And my dad was like, what's wrong with you? But it was a very good book just in terms of just beauty and health, and it taught me, you know, why this exercise matters. And it also taught me that exercise doesn't have to be like, oh my god, you know, people spitting blood on the road running. You can do exercise gently, especially if you haven't done it in your entire life like me. So just like take it easy. Remember aerobic exercises or cardio, so you just like kind of running, go swimming, just like, you know, just get some air inside, get some sunshine, you know, get that circulatory system going, get the lymph going, so the immune system works better, so it can like help fight all of the bullshit you ate or inhaled and surrounded yourself with. And also the circulation helps like the blood move close to the cells and tissues. And yeah, so all the good stuff that you ate can come here. Here. So yeah, this is also what's important. Also, we help build the musculoskeletal system with it. So this also means good posture, symmetry. So just like easy exercises, remembering the nervous system through them. So breathing lightly, all of that. Exercise. So this is really concerning Iglea, the fifth daughter of Asclepius. So as she is the sister of the healing process, we must remember her in the healing process as well, and in the hair, in the health of hair, skin, and nails. So relaxing, massages, baths, creams, masks, these are all good, especially in iridology. It's considered that, so iridology is, we all know or don't, is a science concerning the pupils. No, not the pupils, but like the iris, yeah, logically, the irises of the eye. So I've learned from one woman I met on Facebook that if you have blue eyes like me, you're more prone to problems with the lymphatic system. So people like me and other should pay attention. So that's why massages can be very good, because it, again, massages that lymph, helps it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And an example is, for example, in Materia Medicas, we have the remedy pulsatilla, right? It's a famous so-called polycrest, a general class of medicines, according to Hahnemann in the MMP. But there is a mention of this tendency often in the homeopathic Materia Medicas. And so the blonde people, they're associated with the so-called lax fibers. I remember reading that. So it's sort of a confirmation in a homeopathic literature. So sometimes when I'm in a bath or something, if I feel like my legs are kind of like, you know, the thighs are kind of like calling me that they're sore, I just like kind of massage them, or the feet if they sore, just like get some circulation there, you know, just like become aware of it, stuff like that. And if you want to use an ointment in the process, you can feed the skin this way. So choose a high quality plant oil, maybe some nice shea butter, whatever is local where you are, to support people. So the skin eats through this, and the skin always breathes. And also you can give hair food as well. So putting in the oils, the masks, putting stuff on scalp, keeping the scalp clean. It's important. And so we want to take the goodness from the outside, all the good stuff, and also the goodness from the inside. So our outside shows good health from within. So this is not just poetic, this is literally so. Cosmetics, I've put a recipe here. I don't know why there is a yellow line on this blonde lady, but okay. So cosmetic wise, there's a fun flaxseed gel recipe. So it's more and more becoming modern to embrace the natural texture of the hair. Many people are curly, they're not even aware of it. I became aware of that I was wavy. Well, you cannot really tell right now, but I was aware of my wavy texture after a good haircut. And we can embrace that with flaxseed gel. So there's a recipe on this page if you want to pause the video and check it out. Or just Google flaxseed gel recipe. It's super easy, super cheap. And yeah, it's nice. Also avoid too much heat on the hair. Listen to the nerves of the head and watch for the texture of the hair. Avoid harsh irons for the hair. Avoid having a cold head. This is not good in general. And take care of your head, your little head. Sleep on silk or satin pillowcases, or wrap your head in brains during the night. Take care of it like a family member. Avoid acrylic nails and listen to the body. Preferably choose a less toxic formula. Many less toxic products are available nowadays. See the nails as tellers of your good health, guides, and keepers of good stories. Same goes for hair. Many cultures see hair strength as a symbol of time cycles. Skin should be fed and hydrated. Okay, my spelling is amazing. So listen to the skin and try to make matters as simple as possible in order to save money, save the planet, and understand your body better. A good hemp oil, olive oil, or whatever oil can be applied. Hi to you too. Can be applied on the outside. Rice water can also be given. It's becoming immensely popular. We'll mention it later on. As well as a good organic hydrating cream with some nice natural extract. Avoid ingredients you do not understand. You don't understand something, just like go away. So challenge the market to maintain our health. Less bogus, more hocus pocus. Importance of loose clothing. We actually have this mentioned in the organon, I think. Important clothing, clothes in general. So clothing too tight is not good. You don't want to like choke your body skin. You want to keep it loose so the skin can breathe, so you can feel yourself, not be like a snake is eating you. And actually we can see cellulite on this picture, and actually cellulite can be caused by clothes that are too tight. So one good reason to avoid it, for me it's the only reason to avoid it. Cellulite, a female issue actually. So due to that estrogen that does those beautiful things I've mentioned in the beginning, we are also blessed with cellulite. Well, not estrogen, but hormones, female hormones in general. It is because it affects 98% of women and only 2% men. Unfair. And turns out cellulite is actually due to a buildup of toxins in the system. It can affect women of different lifestyles and even women who exercise a lot. So due to improper diets and lifestyles, an imbalance is created in fat storage and they're breaking up and cellulite is formed. Toxic buildup is also trapped there. So this is a good reason for everyone to quit smoking and improve their diets. Easy but regular exercise is common for battling this issue. So yeah, easy exercises, easy. You warm up the muscles, you choose 5 series of simple movements starting in a certain group: stomach, legs, the behind, thighs, whole body, and focus on breathing and do a few series. Be consistent and have a positive attitude towards this. So you're doing it for yourself. This has to be done. Okay. Aerobic exercises, I mentioned them, do it 1 hour a day. And remember to keep the chin out, have the posture straight, and your shoulders relaxed. This is important. Do not forget stretching the muscles afterwards. We know that after good exercise we haven't done in a while, milk acid can be released from the muscles. And we want to metabolize that. So we have to stretch a bit, you know, give the muscles some air, because also the more we exercise, the more our body can breathe, because the mitochondria is then there. So at first it will be hard, but then soon your body will make more of these little organelles that actually help the cells breathe. So the cells need to breathe as well. So be gentle to yourself, avoid pain, stretch lightly, stretch all of your body, feet included, like a ballerina. Avoid bad posture and staying in one position for too long. Do not look in the mirror too much. Just not a good idea in general, but it can also skew the symmetry of the face. And look into face yoga on YouTube. There are a lot of content creators here. So you can become aware of your face, of the movements you do, just of your body in general. Good sleep, long life. From the book, How to Slow Aging, The Alchemy of Youth, it says the following. Man should sleep at night, not during the day. Man was never a hunter of the night. Physiological functioning is so that the man can mentally and physically only be active during the day. During the night, we regenerate through unconscious processes and get ready for the new day. There are many possible syndromes of sleep issues, namely delayed sleep, too early waking, common in the older population, jet lag, disorders due to shift work, disorders due to polar zones population. Well, grammar is not on point, but you know what I mean. So we will touch on that later on. This is also mentioned in Hahnemann's Organon. So that's why we have to ask about the occupation of the person we're treating and their lifestyle. So if they're not sleeping well during the night, you have to tell them to sleep at night and to go to sleep early. You know, this is very important. I know it varies from culture to culture, but it should just be the general idea. So we can easily induce following these processes is important for brain health. I don't know what I meant by this, but so the brain blesses us with neurotransmitters that make us feel good, make us, you know, be able to work and all of that. And so if once the dark starts falling on the outside and the, you know, pineal gland starts converting serotonin to melatonin, we can see, because melatonin starts being produced once the dark is there, we can see how our brain is sensitive to light and the dark. You know, all of the neurotransmitters that we need to feel good are sensitive to this. And also, you know, if you get a good sleep, the so-called beauty sleep, you will have less dark circles around your eyes, unlike me today. And so in the aphorism 5 of the Organon, this is mentioned in the occupation, lifestyle, and habits. And also I wanted to say to my generation, be wary of mobile phones as the night approaches, and in general, so don't walk around the road with cars around staring at your phone. They're also a light source and can damage the eyes. The eyes are super sensitive. It can be, so these phones can be a maintaining cause, staying long on the phone at night. We call it causa occasionalis. 7th aphorism. He mentions this maintaining cause, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. And now everybody watching might think by now, okay, Ivona, where is the actual homeopathy? Because I was also getting scared by this point in the making of this presentation. This was very much naturopathy, you know, we are not using our remedies, we're not doing anything. So this brought my mind to a certain paradigm. I mentioned the skin breathes and eats too. In my opinion, this is why it's important to not apply anything too toxic and be very, very wary of it. So keep makeup minimal. Makeup can be fun and is important with its place, but let it not become a mask or a compensation for bad skin. This is also possibly why Hahnemann recommends application of our remedies also to the skin sometimes. So the external application, because the skin absorbs. So it can be helpful if we think of the material body within the paradigm of the outer and inner environment. So the outer environment, the skin is the barrier here. Treat it gently and pay attention to its signs. Do not suppress what you see. Reason it and treat it well. Ask the help of the physician when needed. Physician, pay attention. Hygiene. is one of Asclepius's daughters. We mentioned her. So this is why for the health of the hair, skin, and all of other organs, it's impossible to keep the house as healthy as possible, as clean as orderly. So the respiratory system and skin can absorb and the immune system can become reactive. So if we have less dust laying around, this can become a problem, right? So keep your body clean so it doesn't absorb impure substances. Wash your hair and massage your scalp too. Increase the circulation there, but don't be too harsh. Listen to the body, listen to the nerves, the integumentary system, right? With proper scalp care and massage hair can be very beautiful, and hair is telling. A fun popular recipe, rice water, shows hair and skin is in desperate need of proper nutrition. Do we suppress by this? Some might ask. No, because it makes the soul joyful to see the results. We have to follow and see what this means and how we can help further. Also keep your spirit clean. Do not judge, offer support, good energy. This is all hygiene. Do not burden yourself with worry. Hahnemann also says this is important. Love yourself, love others. Organon, recommended regimen. Oh yeah, so we have, in the organon, we have the recommended regimen for chronic diseases. Hahnemann tells us to avoid vexation, for the patient to avoid vexation. And active movement in fresh air is in almost all kinds of weather, yeah. I didn't write the aphorism, it's 200 and something. So what is the remedy? In light of this, we can better discern the remedy, and the illumination of the integumentary system can help us envision and understand the metabolism of substance and the dynamics of the body. This is why movement, all kinds of weather, sunshine, all the good of the environment is important, so the body can exercise the use of the dynamics that surround it and react to it as a system properly, so peace and well-being is achieved. This is why little homeopathic substance can be of great use. This is why LMs and water dosing are important. It can help shift the bodily dynamics for the better. We have to understand what are medicinal substances, their active ingredients, and test them on healthy individuals in appropriate doses with appropriate preparations. So we have the variables, so we know what our remedies are doing. This is nature. We have to understand it and use it through conscientiousness and scientific rigor to help the mankind. This is the true physician. Do not forget Hahnemann's rigor of nature testing the substance. Do not forget Hahnemann's rigor of being objective in case taking. Do not forget to question your own bias. Do not suppress your curiosity to understand. Do not forget the organon. Do not forget the chronic diseases. Do not forget Hahnemann's work. Aude sapere means dare to know. Do not forget the powers of nature. Germans are good naturopaths. I recommend their books on this. The books I've mentioned on the alchemy that is concerned with the dream, with sleeping, is very good. So I found that German books in general are just very good in terms of naturopathy, and Hahnemann also belonged to that region, so we can see like they have a quite good understanding of this stuff. Of course, local is also good. Use local plants, use local soil, connect with local producers, encourage the economy by encouraging health. Hahnemann also recommended use of local medicinal folks plants and the organon when looking for the remedies to prove. And the word prove actually comes from Prüfung, which means examination. We're not proving, we're not trying to prove everything. We're just making an experiment to see how the substance works. And I wanted to mention my one of the Croatian doctors, one of my own people.
What's meant by Prüfung?
Excuse me? Okay.
Please explain Prüfung. P-R-U-F-U-N-G. Prüfung.
Excuse me? What should I explain?
Through comes from Prüfung. So what? Please explain that Prüfung. What's that? Is it
prove,
a German
to
term?
prove, to make a proving. Yeah, Prüfung.
Which means?
So, like a test, exam, examination, trial.
Okay. Continue, please.
Yeah. So proving is kind of like, they tried to translate it. I'm pretty sure he used this word. I'll have to check. If anybody thinks I'm wrong, please correct me. But yeah, just wanted to point that out. Oh yeah, Tikva touched upon this. So the ecology, interestingly, the word eco comes from Greek oikos, which means house. It means home. So encourage trees, building of parks for fresh air and fun, encourage communities to exercise together in sport, encourage the good spirit, lift the nations, encourage good ecology in spirit and in the material, encourage good health practices in politics. It is our responsibility. Warn your politicians about bad health practices and policies. Oh yeah, and then we touch upon what I wanted to touch upon, Dr. Andreas Stampar. He was actually one of the people who made the World Health Organization. I would love to read it in Croatian, but I don't want to waste your time. I'll just read the translation of what Dr. Andreas Stampar, a great epidemiologist, a great public health advocate. He taught the folk a lot. He went from villages to villages. He was very kind. Actually, there's an anecdote of a girl coming to the medical university, and he saw her in the halls, and he was like, "Are you lost? Is everything okay?" And she was like, "Yeah, I don't know where I have to go." And he smiled at her and pointed the way. And people asked her, other students, like, "Oh, other freshmen, like, oh, well, do you know who that was?" She was like, "Oh no, I was just talking to the janitor." And they were like, "No, that's Andreas Stampar, he's one of the greats." And he said, the new physician must not get behind with the times, but he must know the happenings within its people and their communities. His education must not stop once he graduates, but must last for as long as he lives. I've envisioned this end to be an open questions and discussion time. I have some references here. I don't think all of them are here, but whatever. So yeah, if anybody wants to ask a question or start a discussion, we've passed an hour of lecturing. So yeah, if you want to say something now.
I can say something.
Yeah, of course.
This was very unexpected, because I wanted to thank you, Tikva, because this was what we are working at here in Italy. We are producing our organic olive oil, and so you talked a lot about things that I have in mind and in a dream to come true. So this was very, very interesting for me.
Okay, that's
and helpful. I have learned a lot of new stuff also.
Okay, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad that you're doing good work in Italy. Great. Anything else?
I'd like to say that if you don't know what it is, you probably shouldn't be putting it on your skin, because the skin is the largest organ of the body, and everything that is put on the skin gets absorbed. So if it's not like something that's edible by people, then we don't really know what it's going to do, because it gets absorbed. So we have to be careful of what kinds of things we use, and what kinds of things we breathe, and what kinds of things we do, because like I said, the skin is very large, breathable, absorbable, and also what am I thinking? It lets out things too. So everything that shouldn't be in the body can also potentially come into the skin. So we have to be very careful, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions, of what we put on our skin should be something that we could ourselves eat. I think that's an important thing to think about. For example, why buy chemically laden body creams when you can use a good wholesome oil instead?
Yeah, definitely. And it actually feels better to put just good oil. It smells better and it's cheaper. There are a lot of reasons, to use just a good oil. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's really an important thing, to try to reduce our toxic load and our toxic exposure.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely. But I think it's difficult nowadays because we live in a culture where, cosmetics are used often. We have makeup, we have stuff like that. We use hair dyes. Certain standards are presented, and living in society, we don't want to wobble too much from that. So I don't know. I kind of always hope when I put lipstick on or something, like I know I cannot eat it. I know it has, all kinds of bullshit inside. But I'm like, okay, this is why I can focus on other things, or I hope, I pray, I hope my liver works so I can excrete this, So I think that's also why the balance of all of the organs is important. Of course, we want to limit the toxic load, as you said, but
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the organic lipsticks are really pretty good and have
Yeah.
a lot less toxins in them, for sure. I use a number of them and they work quite well and they last nicely. That doesn't mean that that's the only lipstick I ever use, because I also have some 24-hour lipsticks that I absolutely love. But for just, for my grocery shopping and just whatnot, a nice one of those vegan organic brands like Elf or MUA, they produce nice things. They really do. And so,
No,
that's one other way that we can, not, we don't have to be absolutely obsessed and totally neurotic.
complete purism. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. I
But
mean,
I think me coming from Scandinavia, there you are kind of weird if you don't put makeup on you. So for me, moving from that here, I feel liberated, because now when I go to shop, if I don't want to have makeup, I don't need to have it. But back home, people kind of look weird at you and talk behind your back. So back in Scandinavia, it is almost normal to have makeup than to don't have it. So it is kind of scary, I think, because as you said, it is the skin is the biggest organ on your body, and putting a lot of stuff that are not good for you, it is scary.
yeah, I mean, it also depends on what we mean by makeup and what we want to pick and choose. For example, I don't use face makeup. I don't wear face makeup. I don't like it. I don't want to use it. I don't like it. I never have. I have a very basic powder for special events, but I love my eyeliner. But then again, we can choose an eyeliner that's less toxic than some of the other options. And lots of eyeliner just isn't altogether that toxic anyway. And then my mascara, I buy Elf brand. It's made out of, pretty much basic products that aren't really that toxic. And so, I pretty much do a eyeliner, mascara, and lipstick. And that's my look. And that's pretty much all I do. And I'm 53 years old, and I've been using just a good organic soap most of my life, and I just use basic things like coconut oil and olive oil on my skin.
Yeah. I become more like that lately. At one point I had this is it called a binge haul? I don't know. I went to shopping. I spent a lot of money. I bought all kinds of creams. I was like, I deserve it. I don't give a fuck, and it was nice for a while, but then I noticed my skin wasn't, especially as I was under homeopathic treatment, I started noticing as I was putting it on, oh, this actually doesn't feel good on my skin. It would start to kind of sting a bit and all of that. And I was like, no way, I don't want to spend my money, spend my energy, for something I don't even believe in. Of course I believe in everybody being beautiful, and happy and all of that, and supporting the economy, but it's I'll just, I found a rice water recipe online. I just, you cook, you can find it anywhere. I just cooked some rice. I took the water that was left. I applied it on my face for a few days, and the difference was astonishing. And I was like, oh, so this is what food does. This is what nutrition does. And then I started focusing, more on myself also, but also putting some oils and stuff like that. And it really helps me understand, like, the way the skin absorbs, it helped me understand like how the body works. So it was a good experience for me, I have to admit. But I still like my lipstick, but I avoid also face makeup now, like the foundation or concealer, because I want to be aware, if I look tired, like I want to know that I'm tired. I want
Right.
people to know that I'm tired.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as like, is it my benchmark of health?
Can you stop the screen share?
Oh yeah, sure. Sorry, totally forgot about that. There we go. Oh, we have messages in the chat.
Oh, yes, we do, don't we?
Yoga. Oh yeah, Davira knows about yoga.
Davira does yoga all day, every day.
Yogi master.
Yeah, so I want to offer the ladies in the group, if they want to join me on my Zoom classes. And Ivona, since you don't like hardcore exercise, which I don't either, I don't like to exercise, but yoga is another story.
Okay.
It makes you feel amazing. So
I try to do it like my own kind of yoga, where I just like stretch parts that like feel good. I mean,
right.
I'll often go into like a cobra and a downward dog.
Uh-huh.
Well, no.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, downward facing dog.
I don't know how they're called. But yeah, it's good. I really like once I discovered like just like the easy, simple exercises. It was like, oh my God, it doesn't have to be hard, and I can feel, I can see some results, as long as you're consistent, it's really good.
Exactly.
But is meditation also a good thing instead of yoga? I don't like doing poses and things. I am not good at it.
I think obviously it's different because when you meditate, you don't move your body. With yoga, you do. So, but I like simple exercises because I feel like I'm obviously like a very person, kind of hyperactive. So like if I do simple exercise, I can really like breathe and calm down. So, and if I have to like doesn't help me at all. And I'm naturally, kind of limby, skinny as well. And I think in Vedas, in Vedic medicine, they they do the constitutions as well in that way. So different constitutions will need different things. So for me or for other people, they're tall, limby, maybe those are not the best things. Explain importance of warm, cold bathing and massages, sunbathing more, importance of steams.
It's we can say nerve stimulation.
Okay.
It stimulates nerve by cold and hot bathing. And even with the steam, you can. But some people say it's good for some time, but it's not good to use continuously. Yeah, steaming your face.
Yeah.
You talk about the sauna and the bathhouse.
Yes. I also almost.
I
We in
see
Scandinavia use it a lot, the sauna.
Scandinavian, right?
Yes, so we are in the sauna, and afterwards we like to roll in the snow or take an ice bath. And we have always heard that it is very good for the skin and for the heart and for the mind also. But I don't know if it is good, but that is what I have been in all my life,
Right. And then we could talk about Wim Hof.
What is that?
It's a dude who wrote books about the use of cold water baths and things like that therapeutically. So this is all falls under the thing of hydrotherapy. And Hahnemann was a proponent of certain specific aspects of hydrotherapy. Oh, and toenail fungus can take a long time to heal because you have to cure it inside the body. Then you have to cure it all the way for the toenails to grow out, which can take like 6 to 8 months.
Exactly.
It's a long time.
Because, yeah, you have to make sure that the insides, because, we have an entire system. I think we have more like bacteria and fungus and stuff like that in our body. And on our skin than cells. So
Yeah.
it's important also with the food we eat, you know, that's why you have to change the diet. So you know that inside is not full of fungus and, you know, the bad stuff that can come on the outside. And then, as Tikva said, you know, it takes, and what I also mentioned, why, you know, there was a daughter that of Asclepius that presented the healing process itself, because it takes time for the cells to like multiply, to go through mitosis. So, you know, a new nail can be made. It cannot just like disappear if a part was like full of contagion, right?
Right. Yeah, it takes a long, long time.
Yeah.
I think 6 to 8 months is very optimistic, actually.
Yeah.
Very optimistic. I think it takes much, much longer than that.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not sure why. And also skin in general, skin problems such as eczema is, I find with homeopathy is just
So, yeah.
very difficult to heal.
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, I don't know about eczema. Oh yeah, actually, the two most difficult cases I had were eczema and acne.
Yeah. I have one case that I've been actually working on for a few years. It's a concurrent mental illness with eczema. Now, the eczema doesn't hurt, but you know, we're working on all the different things. The mental state has gotten way, 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 way better.
Yeah,
Plus, there was like a huge toxic load. And so that's all gotten better, but you know, the skin problem is still there. But, you know, we know that as homeopaths, that would be the thing that we would probably see last, you know, get better. But, you know, I don't know, I didn't really have a point. But it is, yeah, I know what you mean, that sometimes it can take a very, very long time. But, you know, if somebody's dealing with quote unquote mental illness, then they're going to be a lot more concerned with their mental functioning than they are on whether or not they have a bumpy red rash, you know, between their legs that doesn't necessarily hurt.
It can depend. I think people are not educated in terms of actually homeopathic principles. I mean, it's super important, you know, because I've had people, me myself, the first time, second time, well, once I started the whole homeopathic healing process, I wasn't feeling good, you know, but I would always say, you know, oh, but like the pimples on my forehead, I was too young to like verbalize it. That was like my main concern. And people that came to me for acne came for acne because it's like, you know, it's noticeable. So for them, you know, they have all their mental symptoms, mental emotional symptoms, and you know, their worry is just like that people will see it, but they're not even aware. They're not aware of their body to an extent, you know, of the totality. So I started treating the person, and you know, things got better. And she was like, "Oh, I wasn't even aware I had this problem." You know, my hands were shaking like she would, like this. 30-year-old woman. She didn't come to complain about that. She came to complain about her acne. Imagine the culture, you know? And, you know, I found with her, well, when I started treating her, I wasn't even a part of the organization, and I was just like doing the best I can. But then as I learned about antipsorics and stuff like that, I mean, her case was good because I find there, just like allopathic medicine in general, is not that invasive. So she reacts to medicines quite well, like really beautifully. Like it was very nice to work with her. And she was a nice person as well. And then once I found about the antipsorics and you know, the proving data, it was quite easy to prescribe her last remedy. And I was really certain that this one was going to be it. I was really certain. And I noticed her energy was a bit better as she messaged me. But there was just this stubbornness, you know, to treat the skin condition. And I remember her messaging me like, "I'm stopping this. I cannot. I will be ugly forever," you know. But I found that moment to be a kind of a healing process as well. I didn't want to like get too attached to her reaction, because I know antipsorics, you know, can last for a while. So once she will want help, she can ask me. But you know what I mean? No? Okay.
I'm not the only person here. Sanjay, what do you say?
About what?
About the topic under discussion?
Just like treating the
It
skin.
was, yeah, actually, skin is largest organ of the body, already mentioned, but it's also important to take care. Likewise, you have already told that exercise, um, gentle exercise like yoga, which helps your physical material body. And you will see, like someone here, I think Elena also told about meditation. Meditations helps for the mental health, physical health and mental health. Both contributes to show that what you call beauty of the skin. It's not beauty on the face. It's all over body. You can see. You can see in the folds. You can see those dark lines, like you said, dark circles. Um, so it should be uniform all over the world, even within the hair, under our this clothes also. It's also, but people only focus on the face, like
Yeah.
putting on makeups, layers of makeup. Actually, it has pores, and that pores breathe, like you said, and it needs to communicate with the outside air or oxygen. You can also, and that actually blocks, and that's how when these pores block, you get those skin issues like pimples or whatever. And second thing, hormones. So hormonal treatment for any other part in modern science, you see that will appear on the skin. Everything appears on the skin.
Yeah.
So natural, how means you can try natural treatments, natural ways is always better to take care of the skin. You
Oh,
should.
go ahead.
My skin is not well good as you, Tikva.
Well, I work on mine, that's why. And I just wanted to mention exfoliation. Exfoliation.
Yeah, exfoliation.
Exfoliation is so good. It really, because then when you've exfoliated all over your body, get rid of all those dry, dead skin cells, which accumulate. Then when you apply your oils and stuff like that, then it absorbs better. And then also people complain a lot about having, like a buildup that's like, like an ashiness and stuff like that, or like darkness, or some people like in India, they call it tanning, but it's not really tanning. It's really kind of like a buildup of dark skin cells that need to be exfoliated. So exfoliation is so helpful.
Yeah. But I think Sanjay said a really good thing. So I think we have to educate people more to treat the maintaining cause. So you have to change the lifestyle. You cannot come to a doctor, I don't like how I look, I don't like how I feel, I don't like this, I don't like that. Okay,
Even
remedies are miracle, but they have to remove the maintaining causes, right?
yeah, you already mentioned that causa occasionalis.
Yeah.
Causa occasionalis means maintaining an exciting cause.
Yeah.
And one thing, even your mood, mental state, even you are not happy, that will show up on your skin. that texture and glow will get lost.
Mm.
And when you are not mentally stable, or you can say happiness or sadness. Organon Hanuman also said about that.
Mm. Yeah.
So it's everything how had people keep skin hydrated. Hydrated. How to pronounce the word?
Yeah.
Hydration.
But this is the part that I wanted to touch upon when how to word it. I wanted to feel what you said, but forgot.
Hydration. You
No.
apply, wash your face, but actually face washing face with water or soap. That also continuous washing also will damage, and continuous if you apply oil, that will also
No.
attract what you call dust particles.
No, of course. We have to be aware of the body. But I meant to say in a way, like we can help the bodily dynamics with the remedies, but and maybe the body can throw it out. But if you have a maintaining cause, then, and it's showing on the skin, then yeah, of course you have to work on the maintaining cause. And that can be whatever, bad diet or lack of sun or, bad company,
Yeah, exactly,
bad thoughts or
exactly.
whatever. We can only do so much with the remedies to help the body dynamics, right?
Yes, we
Right.
have to be mindful as well with what we eat and how we live and things that we do. Absolutely.
Is moisturizing the skin recommended, or should the skin have a natural luster to it that it does not have to be? And if you do moisturize, doesn't it become drier eventually?
I don't think necessarily. I mean, I think if
Body has its own mechanism
Oils.
to
Mhm.
moisturizing and even to that sweating to maintain the temperature of the skin or body, you can say.
Of course, and you can tell a lot, about the state, by sweating, but it doesn't necessarily mean that at certain times it's bad to use deodorant or stuff like that. We just have to be mindful about it,
Yeah.
I think it's the same like if I've been tending to avoid moisturizers lately, just focusing on the diet and hydration and everything more, but like if I really feel like I need it, like my face need it, or my face needs just like to be immersed in cold water, like why not? I don't think it's that big of a deal that it's so bad for the body.
But that what I was telling, that we focus only over the face, but what about the rest of the body?
That's true.
The skin covers everything. You will wash your face, you will apply moisturizer only on the face.
No, absolutely. If you notice, other parts are dry or something, I think it's okay to apply oil there as well.
Yeah.
If you need a massage or something, just like it's fine. We have to pay attention to all of the body parts for sure. If the nails on the feet look strange or cold, I mean, if they need grooming or the nails on the hand need grooming, of course we don't just focus on the face. We focus on the entire, body, the entire silhouette.
Yeah. It was a good session, and you learn a lot of new things. Usually, most of the people will ignore that part. You cover many that small issues.
I tried to, because I think thinking, about the outer layer and the inner layer and how the skin reacts, it can help us understand the dynamics of the material substance, and how the body reacts to it.
Yeah.
Just the paradigm, I think it's a good paradigm. to help us understand.
Tikva, you use that, I saw that rose water.
Yeah, I like rose water. Yeah, especially when it's like, when we get Sharav. Sharav is like the dry desert wind, and then it gets like super hot here, then, I like to use a nice rose water spray or a neroli. Oh, what's it called? Orange blossom water. Wow.
Oh, it smells
I love that
delicious.
too. Uh-huh. Yeah.
What do you do with it? With the orange blossom water?
Oh, I just keep it in a spray bottle and use it when needed.
Where? All over your skin?
Yeah, let's say, okay, I don't really use like air conditioning when it's hot. So
Mhm.
I'll just kind of like spray myself.
Ah, okay, to cool down.
Yeah. And, I like rose water and I like neroli water.
So as far as like the dry skin, somebody had given me an example of people that are out in the sun all day long, and their lips get very, very dry, and they put, like the soldiers here in Israel, and they put chapstick on their lips, and then those that don't, at first it'll be worse, but then eventually their lips just get used to it and they're fine. And those that constantly moisturize, their lips just become more and more dry. So that's why I was asking about.
No, that's actually really smart. Yeah. That's actually really smart. I've been like that lately when I notice something on my body, also lips, for example, I try to think, well, I have a habit of picking them. I used to have a habit of putting Vaseline for a long time, but now I'm like, okay, why are they dry? Do I need water? Am I licking them? Am I doing something unconscious because I'm nervous, So, yeah, it's better to not suppress, definitely. I agree. It's a good example. In terms of everything, if we notice our hair is dry or something, like, okay, what do I need at the moment to help it? Yeah. Any special tips, particularly for psoriasis cases? I don't know.
Any cases?
Yeah, Dr. Siva Kumran, sorry. Yeah, he asked about any special tips, particularly for psoriasis cases.
Be very careful of any kind of application on the body and work from
Psoriasis
the
actually,
inside.
Yeah, because the skin is
psoriasis,
diseased on that part, so nothing should be applied.
psoriasis actually have deep connection with the psychological cause. Lot of cases they have mental stress or long-standing history like that. Lot of people show that history. So it's not only the part you need to take that's psoriasis on the skin lesion, but you need a deep history.
No, definitely. Definitely. But any special tips? I don't think so. I mean, this wasn't this lecture wasn't really that concerned with like pathology and skincare and nails. It was more about the maintenance and the lifestyle principles of cure in general. So no particular tips on my part. Since in ingrowing nails. What's an ingrown nail?
This nail will get this corner will dip inside the tissue, corner of the nail. They are more curved than the natural, so they will grow deep inside the tissue.
Yeah, we're looking at things like graphites, silica,
Yeah,
pepper sulf. Hahnemann developed the use of the magnet, the south pole of the magnet, that is supposed to be very, very, very good for ingrown nails.
I have treated my own I had ingrown toenails on both big toes. And one was not so bad, one was quite severe. I kept going to the podiatrist for it. And of course, he told me that I will have to have toenail surgery because of the root of the nail. And homeopathy definitely took care of that. So, and it wasn't any of those remedies that you mentioned. So I guess it's just,
No, of course, when we
uh,
have, when we-
chronic, right? Mhm.
I'm sorry,
And I think that's easier. From what I heard, I don't know, that ingrown toenails are easier to treat than fungus, which is, I don't know. Because the ingrown toenail, it's like the root of the nail that's the problem, apparently. So it kind of changes the way the nail grows, so which seems like it would be a more difficult thing to treat than toenail fungus, but it is treatable. So I know on my own toes that it's
How long
treatable.
did yours take to get well?
One of them was quite, quickly, the other one a long time, because it was also with a toenail fungus. So it kept going from within one to the next, but yeah.
I think.
And maybe if somebody else treated me, it would have been quicker. I don't know. When you treat yourself, I'm not so sure if you're, so how objective I was. So,
No, but I mean, if it got better, then great job.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Ingrown nails.
Who is the one person?
What?
Who is the eighth person in the group? Sorry, seventh one.
Mirella?
No, that's C. Only C is there. C was there.
SM?
Yeah, something like that. No picture, no name, like that.
Serban Mirella? I don't know. I asked her at the beginning of the lecture, but no tone, no picture, as we would say in Croatian.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, thank you everybody for joining. I didn't touch on everything I wanted to today, and I think it lacked like coherency, but yeah, I tried my best.
Thank you, Ivana.
Great job.
Appreciate
You
it.
are nice one.
Thank you.
And if you want, you can continue on the topic.
What
We
now?
have a lot of topics for you.
Yeah, of course.
Hmm?
Yeah, of course.
And you can do. I think you did 2 topics, and 2 topics was excellent.
Thank you. Oh, was it 2? I thought I did 3.
Yeah. Sorry. 3.
My work counts.
It does. We appreciate and respect your work. We do.
Yes,
Truly.
we do.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very fun, gotta say. So yeah, feel
You
free
can,
to.
Tikva, you can turn off that recording. Stop
Mhm.
that
Can I?
recording. If it's finished,
Are we finished? Ivana, are we finished? It is up to Ivana to decide if we are finished or not.
I could talk all day about this, but like, you know what I mean? I think people have stuff to do. I wanted to explain the importance of warm, cold bathing and massages, but I think Sanjay, the nerve connection was quite good. Yeah, I think just the nerves sometimes need like, that really immersion in the warm water or the cold water. But also sometimes you want to stimulate. If somebody's circulation is really
yeah,
bad,
stimulates.
if somebody's circulation is really bad, I had bad circulation. And like I was always cold, but I bathed in warm, hot water every day. Like, of course, the body kind of becomes lazy about it, you know, because you don't test it, you don't exercise those mechanisms. And then I didn't go right away and like what was his name? Wim Hof. He was like, just go jump in the coldest ocean, like you'll be fine. Like my little heart would stop. I just, you know, I would just lower the temperature a little bit. Like, okay, today the water will be a bit less warm. And then I got used to it. I think Kahneman recommends it in the last part of the organon under other therapeutic.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So we have in the organon, Kahneman touches upon the use of hydrotherapy with hot baths and cold baths, and about how these can be used therapeutically, but they are not curative, but they are therapeutic. And they can be used when needed. But when we heat the body, he explains that when we heat the body dramatically, that the body will cool off too fast and will get colder sooner than if we use a more moderate temperature water.
Oh, that's so smart. I didn't get all of that, but it sounds like it's true.
Yes, it's very, very true. I can attest to that also. I take very hot showers and I get so cold immediately after.
Yeah, it makes sense. Because I think
And every night my husband says, I don't understand. Didn't you just take a shower? Why are you so freezing? Yeah.
Yeah, second reaction.
Yep, exactly. The secondary action.
Mhm.
Yeah, so if we aim for that moderate water.
Right, but that's one thing I'm not willing to do.
You're not willing to do it.
I'm not willing to do it. I'm really not. I'm really, really, really not.
So you need to bath with hot water in a hot summer and cold water in cold winter.
Oh, no. No, I would just totally give up bathing for the whole winter if it was that.
Right.
No can do. I mean, you know, with the house being so cold and everything. Oh man.
Seriously, if you bath with cold water in winter, that will warm up your body.
I
immediately.
know.
It makes sense. Yeah.
But
Hey, I'm checking on you, Sanjay, next winter. I'm checking on you to make sure you're only using cold water. Mhm. Make sure you don't use any of that gas water heater that you have. I'm checking.
But he never uses it.
I use hot water even in hot summers.
Yeah. That's smart. Also, you know, when
Cold water in winters, that's impossible.
See, I told you. Even you are going to say it's impossible. For sure you are, because you're so sensitive to heat and cold.
Mercury.
Yeah.
Maybe you need some mercurius, Sanjay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We can think of.
Actually, here in the summer, we don't even have cold water coming out of the faucets.
That's
it's so
true.
boiling
I know.
hot water comes out.
That's true.
Right?
There is no cold water. Well, still we have cold water. You see, I'm wearing a sweater today. It's because where I live, it's chilly today, but not chilly, not cold, not winter cold, but not particularly warm. So we do have kind of coldish water, but as soon as it becomes like July, there's no more cold water.
Right.
Okay, we wrap it up then. I mean, we can continue talking when we stop the recording, but I think this is enough.
Yep, and we have Badika comments coming up, and I should probably check downstairs and see what's going on, right?
I don't get it yet.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ivona, for your valuable topic. And thank you everybody who has attended today. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
And you know where to find us on Sundays and Thursdays, most days, most weeks.
We here.
Wow, okay.
Okay, so yeah, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for listening. Comment if you have any impressions, questions, blah blah blah, all of that. And we'll see you next time.
Mhm.
Recording.